Hell did not create you. Hell does not have permission to break you down and keep you down. You gotta rise above it. I gotta commit my very being to this thing. I gotta breathe it, I gotta eat it, I gotta sleep it. And until you get there, you'll never be successful in life. But once you get there, I guarantee you, the world is yours. So work hard and you can have whatever it is you want.
And the third one is get better. We can all get better. I've gotten better. First talk I gave, I stood up, my mind sat back down. Here's the secret to my success. I stood up and did it again. I stood up and I did it again. And I did it again and I did it again all those many years ago. I did it when I was scared and I did it when I didn't want to and I did it when I was ill.
You got to realize that hell doesn't have a place in your life. But during the course of any challenge that you are facing right now in your life, hell will show up. But hell doesn't have to break you. Hell doesn't have to put you in a position where you don't feel you have nothing else left to give of yourself. You have got to recognize the possibilities within you. Nothing is going to be easy. Nothing is going to be handed to you. You got to go through it. You got to hurt so you can grow. You got to feel it. So if hell does show up, if the devil himself knocks on your door, don't answer it.
Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. Someone talked about it. Won the Tony Award. But here's the kicker. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey.
Don't give it the satisfaction. Make a difference. Move forward. Do something unique in your life. Whatever challenges you are facing, let them come. Whatever obstacles that you face, let them come. How can you grow if everything is easy? How can you grow if everything is handed to you? How can you truly ultimately be a leader in your life if you're not willing to go over the top and get to where you need to be? This is the time right now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you gotta suffer, suffer the right way. If you gotta hurt, hurt a little bit. If you gotta cry, wipe those tears and keep moving. Pain is good. Pain makes you strong. Maybe sometimes you feel like you're in that dark place, but we all gotta find a way to find the light within ourselves.
But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. The point is, every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? While it may be frightening, it will also be rewarding. Because the chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, that you have, that's what's going to define you. Keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
And I did it when it didn't work well, and I did it when they didn't appreciate it, and I didn't a lot of times when I didn't know much what I was doing. I just did it anyway. And now, all these years later, I'm asked to walk on this stage with the greatest introduction I've ever had, greatest response and welcome I've ever had, the greatest opportunity I've ever had to touch this many lives with a mixture of words and heart and soul. I got better. I got better day by day and week by week and month by month, and I'm asking you to do the same thing until you could develop a long arm and a long reach.
Nothing can stop your purpose. Nothing can stop your greatness. If you give hell all the power, then hell will prevail over you. So remember, hell did not create you. Hell cannot break you unless you give it the power. Don't let hell tell you what to do. Don't let misery tell you what to do. Stand tall. Be strong. Feel your greatness. Live your greatness. Push forward. Understand that it's yours. Understand that you live. Understand that you're not dead. Understand it's time to fight. Understand that you have a purpose. Making it happen. Believing in yourself. So let hell do what it has to do.
And when I went to college, guys were way smarter than me. 4.0s, 3.0, they went to the Ivy League high schools, came to Oakwood from these great high schools. Most of them are not doing what I'm doing. Why? Because it's not about where you come from. It's about heart. You come to a place where, being smart ain't enough. You gotta have heart. Don't go to sleep until you succeed.
There are a lot of people that are sitting around waiting for something to happen. Now, what you gonna do about it?
We're getting out of college and we haven't the faintest idea what we want to do. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object?
Until you can develop influence that won't quit. Touch people next year you couldn't touch this year. Touch people now you couldn't touch before. Conduct a meeting now you couldn't conduct before. Heart and soul now mixed in there that wasn't there, missing before. I'm asking all of you to get better in spite of the winters, in spite of the downturn. The money downturn, the social downturn, the personal downturn, whatever it is. Just get stronger. Get better. Doubt's like a plague, and one of the worst is self-doubt. There are many, but that's one of the worst. The guy doubts himself, doubts if it'll last that long for him, doubts if he can do that well, doubts if he can make that much, doubts if he can accomplish all that. A chronic, excellent self-doubter. You can imagine what damage that does to your future. So here's the key. Turn this coin over and become a believer. And there's many things to believe in. One of the majors is yourself.
How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Or another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. I say, do you want to teach in a riding school? Let's go through with it. What do you want to do? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that. And forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid.